we're gonna try this again, and hopefully we can connect to Megan Hazen, who is my guest friend buddy tonight. And hopefully she can see me. Can you see me if she's on? And we can try that. Ooh, okay. There she is. She has joined. So send a request to be in your live video. And I said go. And hopefully this is it.
Hey!
You're not there yet. I can't see you.
I see a frozen photo of me now, so we're getting closer. It's not a great look, but I'm glad you can't see it. But I'm kind of there, almost.
Okay. Well, it's sort of connecting. Like it's
Yeah.
happening.
Something is...
Your frozen picture is what? Your Facebook profile?
It's currently just like as I was connecting, so it's my like please work face.
Oh. That's
so
great.
we'll see. So that's
see.
Promising.
Maybe, yeah, I brought my my tech guy here. Goes, well, I don't know anything about Instagram.
I didn't say it like that.
Oh, no, okay. So we'll give it a shot, and if not, we can reschedule for we can reschedule for tomorrow. And Brenda, my friend, is really wanting to watch this, and Lynn too. But
I'm back, and it's back to a dark screen, but I see you.
oh no! And you've got your electricity. I mean, you've got your power back, right?
Yeah, everything's back up and running, and I've been watching stuff, like my internet's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried data too, and it didn't go through.
Yeah, that's so strange. Ah, well, do you want to reschedule? Can you you're probably not available because you're busy working, right?
Well, at the moment, I'm actually working from home for the last few weeks, just helping out with the online like customer.
Can Lynn, can you or Brenda, can you see Megan? Can you see her? No, you can only see me. Yeah. They can't see you, my friend.
Oh, let me see if I'm gonna try moving up the stairs and see if this does anything.
Okay, I don't know. Oh, you're cutting out though.
Just keep drinking your wine.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know why it would do this, because like I've done one before and there was no problem.
And I've done this
so many times.
You are my eighth lucky number 8. You know, 8 is a good number in feng shui. So just for everybody listening right now, that's a special tip to always know. 8. It's also like the symbol of infinity. Is a very good number. It's a number of blessings and prosperity. Yeah. So let's see here. I am gonna try and request that you join me. So you'll see that there, Megan.
Hey! Yay!
Oh
Okay, okay,
You
so
went upstairs, and then
I went upstairs and it disconnected again. Um, maybe I'll just stand here in the stairwell because this is where we're at.
but you're gonna be standing up all this time.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You know, I don't have any of my paintings up here, but at least there's connection, so we'll go with that.
Well, maybe in a way, in later on as we go along, you can try and go downstairs, kind of slowly,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I'll creep my way
maybe
down.
we could do it that way. Yeah. Well, I'm so glad to see you,
Yeah, it's
and
nice to see
welcome
you.
to my art chat. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for inviting me. I know it's been a work in progress getting here, but we're here.
Yay. Yeah. Excellent. Well, I want to introduce you to everybody who's waited patiently for us to connect, like on Instagram Live. Megan was with me at the first episode of Canadian Landscape Artist of the Year. She is also an OCAD graduate with a Bachelor of Fine Arts with distinction. And she also was able to display her artwork at the National Gallery of Canada because she competed in that So You Want to Be an Artist? Right? So
Yes,
that's
yeah.
so cool, like in 2014.
Yeah.
And I saw that when you put that on your Instagram feed, and I go, wow, what an honor, Megan.
Yeah, it was really an incredible opportunity. I was just finishing my first year at OCAD, um, so I was 18 or so, and they have a youth competition every year. So basically, you enter online, and then people across the country vote on it, and
Yeah.
then the top 10 that get voted in get to be displayed in the National Gallery of Canada, which is really, really amazing. So that was a cool opportunity, like a dream moment for sure.
How many were you chosen to display your artwork there?
There were like the top 10 got in.
Top 10.
So the top 10, yeah. So it
And
was really, really cool.
it was open to all art schools, or how did this went? How was the call?
It was an open call across Canada, so it wasn't even through the schools. It was just anybody, I think 18 and under could apply. And then so I did it kind of on a whim and then bugged my family and friends for countless days to get them to vote for me, and then was able to get through. So it was an amazing
That's an amazing
experience.
opportunity. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're maybe your calling is to always compete. Right? Because and then a few years after you get into the Canadian Landscape Artist of the Year competition, right? So
Yeah.
maybe join more competitions. Who knows, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. So can you still hear me?
I can hear you. You're buffering a little bit, but I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, you're there. Okay. So to continue with your bio, yeah, acrylics and oil, and her body of work is her series is called Fragmented Memories. So can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. So the Fragmented Memories series kind of began for my thesis year when I was at OCAD, and it was based off of, at that time, a bunch of photos that I had taken during my year that I spent in Italy and traveling around through OCAD. So it was all kind of looking at the idea that, like, you take a photo, like so many photos of a place or a building or something, and it's just a snapshot of that moment, but it doesn't really fill in the blanks of the experience. So I would take photos from that and kind of tear them up, originally kind of collage them and put them together, and then kind of create a new experience by painting them after the fact. And then from there, it kind of shifted a little bit, and it changed into focusing a lot more on memories of home and the fragmentation of those, and just the idea that so many things can kind of mean home to a person, and so many things can remind you of home, but it's all those little pieces that come together that create kind of your memory and your idea of where you are from. So it shifted a lot into painting with nature and animals and stuff like that, because I grew up very much out in the country. So it was all stuff that was seen in my backyard every day or every so often. So it was something that after moving to the city, moving to Toronto, I really kind of missed. So I started painting a lot more of them.
Yeah, yeah. I saw the bear that you just did on your Instagram. Or have you done many bear paintings already? Because you seem to
Yeah,
have that as a series, right?
yeah. The bears, the black bears especially, come into it quite a bit. I just can't stop painting them. I'm not sure why. They're
Yeah.
just so like beautifully majestic and wonderful. And we've seen a couple like in my backyard at my parents' house. So it's kind of something that when you see them kind of out in real life in the wild, it's so mind-boggling. You can't even imagine them that they're there. They're always around, but you just never see them. And they're so beautiful that I can't stop. There'll
Yeah.
probably be more.
Yeah. So do you paint your bears in a very funky way? You use a lot of really bold colors, and then you put some fragments throughout the bear, or do you put some collage in it, or is it just pure paint?
It's just pure paint. Usually what I do is I actually draw out the missing pieces first. So I kind of work a little bit backwards where I'll
Mm,
draw the negative space
right.
and then paint into it with the actual subject. And it's probably easier to do it a different way or to like do that after the fact, but I don't know, it kind of makes me more careful with it, which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Um, and it just keeps me thinking about those kind of missing pieces and those fragments, which I really like kind of focusing on as I paint. So it's kind of fun, and I currently use a lot more with wood panel. I've been almost predominantly working on wood
Wood
panel.
panel. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I work on it raw with the acrylic, and I don't prime it or anything because I don't use a lot of water. I don't really need to. And then I find showing the wood grain in the background really kind of lends itself to the natural subject. And then once I varnish it, it kind of deepens it a little. And
Right.
I really like the look of that. So I pick my panels very carefully because
Yeah.
I'm looking at the wood grain first, for sure.
Oh, so you go and you look at the wood grain, and then you go, hey, I think I can use this for what I had in mind, right? For your
Exactly.
right? Yeah, so I know you have your smaller work, like your 6x6 work, and that's also part of the fragmented series, right? But that,
Yeah.
uh, so it's look, explain some of that, because I just saw it on your website and I found that very intriguing.
Yeah, so the little smaller ones are still part of the fragmentation of memory and that kind of idea, but those are predominantly just single pieces of that memory. So it's
Hmm.
one piece that's kind of sitting on the surface of the panel almost. So it kind of was the bridge, like the gap between doing um, the like trompe l'oeil collage paintings and then moving into what I'm doing now with just the missing pieces, in that they were kind of pieces sitting on in a space. So the little mini ones are just singular pieces that
Singular.
when they're seen as a set, it kind of comes together for me anyway through my own kind of memories
Right.
as one whole.
Yeah, yeah, no, very intriguing. I like the way that you're working with the negative shape first, and then you're just filling in the rest. When we were at the CN Tower, when we were painting there, I'm like, what's she doing? Like, I'm watching you, right? Because we were just having fun, really painting there, and then after I saw exactly what you did in your process is so unique. It's a different approach. So your process is pretty much you have that image already, what you're gonna paint, but then you go into the negative shapes first before you put in your image.
Yeah,
Is that right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I like
Yeah.
to, because I feel like the negative spaces, because they draw so much attention immediately, that they need to be kind of compositionally thought out before anything else, because that's going to be something that people kind of raise questions to immediately, right? So you need to be able to, I like to kind of make it so that it'll be aesthetically pleasing as well and not just kind of thrown in there. So that's what I try to do, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it works.
No. And then I know that one of the jurors, Joanne, asked you about that at the show, right? She said, "Oh, you start with the negative shapes first." Was it her or
Yeah, it was Joanne.
yeah? So that was kind of cool. Yeah. So are you exclusively acrylics or do you do oils?
I have done oils in the past. I've kind of gotten away from them a little bit. It's mostly acrylic now. I found just because downtown Toronto basement apartment living, it's a little bit hard to get that
Hard,
kind
yeah.
of ventilation that I would need for oil as much. So
Right.
I work with acrylic and then it dries quickly and I can kind of store it how I need to,
Yeah.
very creatively storing everything in my tiny space.
Yeah. What with your life working and a young artist like yourself, you have to find a little bit of balance, right? So I mean, most of my friends either had a career prior to being an artist or were artists full time right away. But you're the manager of an art store, and that's a big responsibility. And how do you balance that with your series or working or doing shows? How do you balance that work love life?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely hard to balance sometimes because when you're working full time, when you get home in the evening, it's really it's hard to get motivated again once you've been kind of working for 8, 9, 10 hours.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate that because I do work and manage an art store, that like even when I'm at work I'm still talking about art, I'm
Oh
still
yeah.
talking about art supplies and with like working with artists in the store. So it's really fun that that comes into my work as well. And then it kind of, I get inspired by like the customers, for example, if they're talking about how excited they are to make a painting or something, I'm just like, yes, that sounds fun. I can't wait. Like I can't wait to do it myself. So it's a lot to balance, but with everything going on right now as well, like I find I'm really making a lot of priority to painting because it really is kind of an escape for me as well. So, which I think it is for a lot of people. So, um, I've really kind of made sure that like every week, every weekend or whatever, if I have a little bit of time, that I take that time for myself. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so it's a balance, but it's good that like every kind of aspect of it kind of comes back to art in some way.
Right. Yeah. For those who just for those who are online, it's just and you are in the Toronto area. Megan manages the Curry's art store in the Dundas. Is that right? The Dundas
Yeah,
location. Yeah. So that's the one that leads up to the AGO.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The tiny little one
Yeah.
by OCAD, the AGO. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you are in the Toronto area, try to visit Megan and tell her you saw her on
Yeah, for
Instagram
sure.
Live.
And
Yeah. Or on TV. Yeah. Yeah. Best store. Maybe Claudia said. Do you know maybe Claudia?
I do. We
Yeah.
worked together at
Oh,
the Queen West Curry, so
oh,
she's a really good friend.
excellent.
So
I
yes, I agree, Claudia.
well, I did work at Curry's in Whitby, and I
Yes,
worked there
yes.
part time for 13 years. Left 3 years ago now, so it was again being artists, and you're inside your studio. It could be quite lonely sometimes, right? It's because you're by yourself and you need time to engage with your artwork. So I decided to start the art chat because I would call my friends and we would talk art, and it would just inspire it would inspire me, and it would inspire my friend. And but being in an art store like yourself, you're always inspired because you're in a location. It's like being in a what? In a candy store, right?
Exactly, totally. It makes it a little difficult to not buy something every day. Like I said with the wood panels, like I'm so particular, always looking for the certain wood grain on the panels that I want, that when I see a bunch come in, I just want them all. So it's
Yeah.
kind of it's a practice in self-discipline to not buy the store every day that I'm there. But yeah, it's really lovely, and it's lovely too because so many of my customers are artists that I look up to as well, and so it's really wonderful to be able to talk to someone that I might only usually follow on social media or something, and have them kind of like hear about their process or hear about why they like certain materials over others, and it's a really great connection point for artists as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you're involved. And then you get flyers from art shows, and then you get you're being in that environment. You're kind of in the first to know that, oh, there's a call
Mhm.
out for this gallery,
Yeah.
or there's an opening for that. And it's kind of neat that you get a little bit of an insight, to to a very competitive industry, right?
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So, Carice, how is it during COVID now? You're functioning shorter hours or more on?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so we're working with shorter hours. It's just Monday to Saturday, 10 until 6. And it's basically just like a smaller staff on at a time, and just taking all the precautions possible. We've got, because my store is the Dundas store, where the little baby, we're very tiny, so we're keeping it as safe as possible.
Right.
And then myself, I'm also helping out with the order desk and kind of online orders and stuff like that too. So where I'm seeing how incredibly like excited people are to create, even from the beginning of this pandemic and everything that's going on. People immediately wanted to take that time and kind of create something, kind
Oh
of
wow.
escape in that way.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of a little bit like, it's been inspiring seeing so many people really kind of want to invest in doing something for themselves
Right.
in the time that they have. So it's been good. We've held up well.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. So your has your online sales gone up? Because I know a lot of people are ordering online now.
Yeah, oh for sure. Yeah, the traffic was really really amazing, kind of higher than expectations for especially the time that the stores were closed as well.
Yeah.
So we've been working with that quite a bit, and then it's been cool to also like this, like be able to just as artists, individuals, be able to connect kind of in a way that maybe before we took for granted how much easier it was to connect in person, and then now we have use of all these platforms. We're really kind of taking advantage of it, and I appreciate watching all of the chats that you're doing. It's really
Oh,
cool to hear from people when you're very much isolated, right?
right. Yeah. So I'm really enjoying the chat. So I'm really glad that you accepted my invite to be my guest tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate the invite.
So tell me about your when you were in school. You took uh, um, what is that? A exchange program that you could stay in Italy to do your work. Is this what? How do you call that? Sort of like an exchange.
Yeah, yeah. So it was an exchange. It was through OCAD, the Florence Off-Campus Studies Program, and basically it's the full 8 months that a small group of artists and designers from OCAD went over, and we have a studio space in Florence in Italy. And then we spend the 8 months there. We each have our own kind of designated space in the studio, and we work individually and then collaboratively, and have the opportunity to go to all of the museums and see the artworks, because Florence is absolutely incredible with how much art and kind of history that they have as far as the Renaissance and the Italian masters. So it was a really, honestly, probably the best time of my life. Yeah, it was
your art life, right?
Yeah, it was absolutely incredible, and we had amazing professors. We had, I don't know if anyone out there knows Michelle White, who's been with OCAD for over 30 years. She's just an amazing, amazing artist and with an incredible wealth of knowledge. And Linda Martinello as well was the other professor in the next semester, who is also just absolutely incredible. Both of their works I look up to immensely.
What's the name of the second professor?
Linda Martinello.
Okay. Linda
Martinello.
Martinello.
Yeah.
So what did you do like in Florence? Did you paint? Did you draw? Was there actual instruction aside from free studio time?
Yeah, so it was interesting because it was very much like a mini thesis. So we had basically just a bunch of free studio time to work on really anything we wanted, but we had to, of course, back it up. We had crits, we had like essays, annotated bibs, stuff like that, that kind of brought us through the whole thing and gave us like a mini rundown, basically, of thesis. And then the other part of it was art history, of course. So we had an incredible art historian named Katerina. She lives in Italy, and she brought us around to all of the museums and just showed us everything, which is incredible to see in person. Like I lived like 10-minute walk from the Statue of David.
Oh, wow.
So it was absolutely an incredible, like, eye-opening opportunity. I'm so grateful for it.
What is your favorite gallery when you were there? I've never been to Italy, so I'm taking down notes.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I have so much to share. My favorite gallery in Florence was definitely, it's hard. I think probably the Bargello Museum. So it's mostly sculpture in there, but it's really beautiful. It's kind of like the Uffizi galleries and the Academia where the David are very, very like just packed with tourists all the times. But the Bargello is kind of off on a little bit of a side street almost.
So
and it's a
gallery.
Yeah, it's a beautiful kind of quiet, basically like sculpture gallery with a beautiful garden. Like it's very, it's such a calming kind of place. And then they just like, you walk around the corner and they have a Michelangelo standing there. It's just, it's mind-boggling.
Wow.
But that's
are the galleries, they're free to go in?
They were for students, generally. I think there is an admission for adults, but I had my student visa for Italy, so I was able to get in most places for free, and then some places were covered by the program as well.
Wow. That's so incredible. I wish I was back in school and I was given that opportunity. But this time I'm going back as an adult and I'm gonna mix it with pleasure.
Yeah, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. So yeah. So I mean, like, I don't know about travel right now because of COVID. So I
Of
think I'm
course.
staying home this this year. So what what has Italy given you in terms of your artwork? What do you know came from Italy in your
Yeah,
painting?
I would say honestly, I would say just a lot more confidence in myself. I feel like having that designated studio time where I could just really sit down, make my own hours, and really kind of figure out what I wanted to do, even if it isn't the same, like it's a totally different series what I
Oh
did
yeah,
there than
totally.
what I'm doing
Yes,
now.
right.
But it kind of gave me the confidence to being there, making my work, and kind of traveling in a place that I didn't know and kind of just like trusting that I could do it and not like get super super lost or like
Yeah,
get hurt in any way. Like I was able to kind of figure it out along with my classmates and my amazing roommate Zara as well. So I think that's the biggest thing, is that it kind of prepared me to go into thesis for my last year of OCAD, and it kind of gave me more of a voice in that way, because I kind of felt comfortable, like, no, this is what I want to do, this is who I want to be as an artist. And I
yeah,
kind of found that before going there I was kind of very very scared, which
yeah,
I still am, and I don't think that ever goes away, but I was just very um, kind of timid about kind of saying what I wanted to do and being kind of proud of what I want to do and not kind of catering it. So I feel like that's the biggest thing that it gave me, honestly, and just a lot of really good memories.
nice. Wow. Well, congratulations with that. I mean, I yeah, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, I find, and you used it productively. So yeah, congratulations. Yeah, amazing. So, were you supposed to be at the Toronto Outdoor Fair this year?
um, I I didn't do it this year. I did it
Okay.
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because it's gone online now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Um, yeah, I mean, like, this online, it's really open doors for other things. So like, I am doing this. I'm doing more videos on my YouTube channel, and then I'll probably be doing demos and teaching workshops through online right now.
Hmm.
So it's kind of cool. So do you think you could go down to your studio without disconnecting? I kind of
We
like to
can
see your studio.
certainly try.
Yeah.
We can
If I
try.
lose you, then reconnect again.
Okay,
Right?
we'll slowly
Yeah.
go down the
So
stairs and
slowly go down the stairs.
we'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still here.
Yeah, you're still there. For those who just tuned in late, I'm talking
Okay.
with Megan Hazen. She is a wonderful young artist, up and coming, and a good friend that I met at the Canadian Landscape Artist of the Year, episode 1.
Yes.
Hey, you're in
Yes.
your studio.
Yes, I'm here. Well, it's also my just tiny apartment, but yeah.
Yeah, so
We made it.
that painting there that's not the butterflies, but what tell me about that painting behind you.
Yeah, so this one here, it's quite a large canvas. I don't know if I could get it all in frame.
Right.
Um, but it is called Flourish, and it's basically a kind of a tear off of the Fragmented Memories.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got the kind of torn and ripped pieces. It's meant to look a little bit collage, like you can see through to the other layers. And I just, honestly, with this one, I had started it. I had gotten one of these big canvases from work, of course,
Okay,
and
of course.
and I started it one time. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do this big floral thing. And then with this one, I actually got, because it was so large, I got so overwhelmed with it and I gave up. For probably months, it was just kind of sitting there with only like this little tiny strip done.
Yeah.
And then I got into the Toronto Outdoor last year, which was one of my dreams as well. Like, so such an incredible opportunity. So my partner actually, he dared me. He basically said, you should post a little piece of it, and then that'll drive you to make sure that you finish it and kind of commit to it and keep going.
Yeah,
So he really pushed me to work on it and do something so large. It's so like time consuming because there were so many details, but I'm really happy he did, and it's one of my favorites. So
will you be able to show a little bit of that if you bring your phone a little bit closer? Maybe
the like
just a little,
a little bit more. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's how big is it? I see the
It is 36 by 48. So it's
that is
yeah, so it's 3 feet by 4 feet.
Yeah. It's a nice setup for sure for a big wall.
Yeah, which is funny because I live in a tiny Toronto basement apartment, so my walls are not large, but it kind of works. It brings the sunshine and the color into the space. So
yeah. And then do you still have the butterfly that I put on our little poster?
I do.
Yes. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. So where's the negative space is the board.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay, I see that. And do you draw it first with like pencil first, or what happens?
So for
draw the whole thing as it you know.
Yeah, for this one,
how does it come about to be the process?
So that one in particular, I drew out the negative spaces first because I knew I kind of wanted to fill it in almost like a pattern. It was more like it's less one subject and kind of something that could be kind of replicated a bunch of times to make this big pattern and this big kind of colorful, detailed thing. So I basically I drew out the negative spaces first and then picked where I wanted the kind of the big ones to go, like these.
I see. And
then worked into the background with the more pastel kind of muted tones after that. Yeah, so that one was really fun because, like, obviously I love color and kind of details and stuff like that, so monarch butterflies have always been one of my favorites, and again it also reminds me of home and being kind of in my backyard, and so that one was really fun. Yeah.
So almost everything with your paintings remind you of home, is that correct?
Yeah.
Am I reading that right? So all of the things you're painting now is a piece of your home, or what home means to you. So you've got the bears, because the bears are around the Renfrew area.
Yes, definitely.
And then you've got your butterflies, definitely, which is nature. And then you've got flowers, which is, again, nature, right? So, wow, wonderful. Anything else? What are you working on? What's the new, like, in progress that you can share?
Yeah, so I just finished it, but it was literally like last night that I finished it, so it kind of counts. I haven't shared it yet. But it's it's a bee. It's a bee. It's a great big bee.
So is there negative shape inside the bee, in its body?
Not in his body, no. Those are just kind of highlights, but it's more, he's just more on the surface. There's less kind of pieces with him. But I did one the other day that had a bunch of flowers and like little tiny bees, and I don't know, I just wanted to do something cute and fuzzy, so I decided to do another big one.
Very neat, Megan. So just for the artists there that are watching, I went to your website and it's very well done. So are you doing your own website, or do you have somebody do that for you?
So the website is through a builder called Format. So Format it's super easy. It's kind of when you're at OCAD, it's kind of you get a Format subscription for free. So it's a website builder, and they give you a bunch of templates. It's super, super easy because I'm very much not technologically like,
Yeah, so it's
I'm not
it's
very
a
good
drop
at
and
it.
drag. So it's a drop
Yeah,
and
so
drag, and then you
yeah,
upload
so
it.
it's yeah, so it's like a pre-made kind of builder. I just kind of plug in my images and kind of customize it a little bit, but it's super easy to use, and it's can't remember how much the subscription is a month, but it's not too much to have your own domain.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. What about you with your website? Do you build it?
I build it, and again, it's drop and drag because I am not, I don't want to code. I'm not a coder, right? So,
No, no.
so it's through Weebly, and my provider is NetFirms. So I always ask artists about who does their website because I sometimes struggle with my website, and sometimes it doesn't load, or I have a problem with formatting.
Mm.
So I'm in the market. I'm
Yeah,
looking for another site. I heard Wix is also very good,
I've
and
heard good things. Yeah,
there's another one, Squarespace, I believe.
Squarespace. Hmm.
Yeah. So again, but I think they're American. So the company I work with, it's based out of, I think, Calgary. So kind of
Okay.
like to keep it Canadian.
Yeah,
So is
yeah.
Format Canadian?
I don't know, unfortunately. I don't know off the top of my head.
Mm,
I don't remember ever seeing whether it was or not, but that's probably,
yeah.
we'll
I'll,
Google it after.
Google. Google. What did we do without Google?
Oh, I don't know.
Right? I mean, you know what? If the pandemic happened and we don't have the internet, it's gonna be a really difficult time, right? Because you don't know what's going on. You'll just be relying
Mhm.
on TV news and the radio, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But luckily we had the internet. We can watch Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. It's
And
true.
YouTube, right? So yeah. So is there anything you'd like to show me in terms of what you would like this year to look like for you in terms of your art?
Ooh. Like an example of where I'm going with it,
Yeah,
or?
I mean, I know our shows are pretty much canceled this year, and I don't know if you were lining up for a show in the fall, or
Mm.
were you really? What
Um,
show was it?
Not, I had applied to a few that had been canceled before they even did the jurying process. I was hoping to do the Rosedale, um, the Rosedale Art Fair this year. I had done it last year. I was kind of positioned in one of the stores. So I was hoping to do that, and then there were a couple others that I was kind of waiting for the calls to come out. But yeah, it kind of it really changed everything, and there's kind of no way to know when it'll return. So it's kind of I've been trying to kind of look into what online platforms there are, because that's kind of the way that we're going to be, I think, for a little bit. So a lot of people and a lot of like galleries or fairs have to, like the Toronto Outdoor, have to kind of adapt to online, which is uh, kind of scary. But
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's so hard to kind of get the
Control
feeling of a painting when you're kind of
online.
seeing it on a two-dimensional screen.
Mhm.
So it's kind of it's forced me to take better photos of my paintings, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
It's more reliant on that, right? It's not as much in person kind of getting that connection. So
Mm.
yeah, so nothing's really planned right now. It's kind of it's beyond planning, I think, at the moment.
Yeah.
But hopefully once things become safer and things kind of hopefully return to some kind of semblance of normalcy, we'll we'll get back around to it, but we gotta be patient for now, I guess.
Yep, yep, for sure. So, tell me about commission work. Do you do commissions?
Yeah, I do. I do. Yeah, I do commissions or just kind of ideas if someone has something that they associate with a memory, like whether it's a particular flower or an animal or something like that. I do kind of work and then kind of make it into my own style and kind of collaborate with the person
The
that
client,
commissioned
yeah,
it.
right,
Yeah.
right, yeah. So,
Yeah, and I saw your, sorry, I saw your commission that you just dropped off. It's
yeah,
absolutely gorgeous, of course, as always.
yeah, that was a really fun commission work to do because she saw the painting online, but it's sold already, right? So
Mm,
she said, I really really love that painting. So I gave her the idea that, every painting that I paint is an original, and
yeah,
even though it's the same reference, it'll still be not it'll still be an original. You can't replicate a painting that you've already done. There's always
yeah,
something that will be different, whether it's the brushstroke or the colors you used or just the feeling of the day, right?
yes,
So and then she
definitely.
said, well, how big was that painting? And I said, well, it was a 30 by 30. It was my entry to the Canadian Landscape Artist of the Year.
I thought I
Yeah,
recognized that kind of palette. Yes,
yeah.
yes, gorgeous.
So and then so she said, I don't have big walls. So I just recommended, how about a 12 by 12, right? And
Yeah,
then she said, lovely. That's the perfect size for me. And so she just fell in love with it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
yeah. There's
So
something
that
so
that
nice
that
about
that type of
like
commission work
a
I love.
little.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, I was gonna say there's something so nice about having like a little piece, even if you can't, if you don't have the wall space or you can't, like in my case, if you can't like afford a very large piece of art, just having something small really means so much. And I have one of your originals as well
Yeah,
on my wall.
that's
So
right.
speaking of,
That's
yeah,
right.
so
Yeah.
it's so nice to be able to kind of collect from friends, even if it's smaller paintings, they still mean so much, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I'd like to do eventually. Is like I have so many friends who I just adore their work, and most of
Hmm.
them are watching right now, and I just go, wow, one day I will collect and I will save so I can have an original of your work. And that would be really fun to have like a wall of your favorite artists, right?
Sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I've tried to do that a little bit so far. I've got a couple of friends. I've got yours and my friend Jasmine Cardenas or Jess Welsh. I have a Shanna Van Mierik that she's a Toronto-based artist as well. I have her print. So I'm slowly
Slowly
building
building.
to,
Yeah, and
yeah,
then
yeah, as much
because you
as I
work
can.
in an art store too, like almost everybody who's hired is either in OCAD or with a degree in fine art. So they're also
Yeah,
themselves really really creative people, right? Yeah, but you
yeah,
don't really have to have a degree. I think you just have to have the passion and the creativity, right?
yeah,
To get
totally.
going. Yeah. But yeah, I mean like yeah. So what's your favorite color?
Oh.
This just went in like out of the blue. I'll drink to
My favorite color is turquoise.
that. Like
What about you?
that yeah, I mean like you can buy that turquoise, right? Or do you make it?
The very specific turquoise I really like is cobalt turquoise,
Yeah.
from Golden.
Yep.
It's such a beautiful kind of, um, it's, I don't know if you can describe a color as creamy, but it's like a beautiful creamy, like flat color that I just absolutely adore. And it's so hard to mix a vibrant turquoise like that. So that's the
Yeah.
one that I do purchase. I usually mix all of my own colors from the primaries, but that's the one because it's my favorite. I have to have it.
Yeah, and also like I always tell my students too, right? You want to be you want to be sort of consistent, right? So colors like that, yeah, you can mix it, but it's going to be different when you mix it tomorrow or when you mix it
Totally.
the next day or even just in the next hour. So it's better to have it already pre-made. I mean, the technology is there. So like I love the cobalt teal.
Hmm.
I will always buy that. Um, yeah, and the quinacridone rose, those are my favorite colors. I don't know how to make that. Like there's something in there, secrets of manufacturing, um, that you can come close but not get that brilliance, right?
Yeah.
And all those quinacridone colors. Oh, you know what else are my favorite colors? Transparent red iron oxide.
Ooh, gorgeous.
It's
Such a
different
beautiful
than
color.
burnt sienna, right? Burnt
Yeah,
sienna
yeah.
is more rustic and more uh, brown red, but transparent red iron oxide, it just has that. It's just magnificent.
Yeah, no,
It's
it
my
kind of
go-to color.
it catches the light so beautifully. It kind of just sings a little bit differently, whereas like I find burnt sienna or burnt umber just kind of flatten, whereas the transparent red iron oxide kind of just comes out. Or another one I love is chromium oxide green.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Especially the tri-art version is just absolutely gorgeous and so opaque and beautiful. It's really nice.
It's really a warm green, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, and you want that warmness sometimes in your landscapes. Like you could see that here too.
Yes.
So I will show you my work in progress. So
Yes,
yours
please.
unfair. So this is my work in progress. It's still
Love
in the beginning stage.
I
Um,
love the brightness of the underpainting.
yeah, and I
That
kind of
red.
always start with the red wash. So I kind of like to keep it there. So hopefully that gets finished. I'm kind of like, yeah, I work on three paintings kind of at the same time, and I just jump. I'm like a butterfly. I jump and jump, and
Just
then
putting a touch here and a touch there. That's so
well,
nice.
sometimes it's I could only I don't know. I sometimes you need for things to dry, right? So then you jump to the next, and then you still got your palette going, and it is a
Hmm.
series now, and just keeps going with the flow. So
Yeah.
that would be the fifth of the series that I'm doing. So yeah,
Awesome. That's the thing about acrylic is it's so quick that
yeah,
that's probably why I only work on one at a time because I kind of do it as a sitting and then work it quickly before my palette dries on me.
right.
So yeah, but it's really awesome because I've seen your space. Like it's so nice and large that you have all those spaces you can put down your panels or your canvases and work from there. So that's really nice.
I'm very fortunate. Yeah, yeah, it's a blessing. It would be nice if we had, like I wish that it would be a finished basement, but then it's great too that it's not a finished basement, so I don't have to be careful with my
Yes.
artwork and paint splattering around. So sometimes, yeah. And then my only wish is that the basement or the studio has a water source. I think it's very
Mhm.
important. We don't have a sink down here, so maybe if we just invest in that, maybe this year to put a sink down here, then I don't have to keep going up and down.
Right.
Rinsing my brushes or disposing some material, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would like to thank you for being my eighth art chat buddy. Look at that.
Yes.
Wow. I can't believe the time flew. It is what?
8 weeks.
Eight, huh?
Have you like once a week? So eight
The
weeks.
weeks? Oh, no, the time now. But yeah, the weeks.
Oh.
The weeks of COVID. Like I started this early April, and
Hmm.
wow, we're in July now. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah. You know what? I just as a tidbit, you were thinking about what to join now. I mean, I belong to the Society of Canadian Artists, and the Ontario Society of Artists. They have open calls. You don't have to be a member, and they have open calls for art exhibitions. So just keep a watch out for that.
For sure. Yeah, I'll make sure that I'm following them as well on all the socials.
Yeah, I think you're following them. I manage the socials for
Oh,
SCA.
you know already.
So if you see that, you know it's me. You can comment. Yeah. So yeah, we're just preparing right now. This August, we hope that we will have a live gallery open for an international show. So yeah, it's gonna be at the Paper Mill Gallery. So you should come by. It's around your neighborhood in Toronto. Probably not your neighborhood, but still Toronto.
I'm trying to think, where exactly is it?
Todd Morden.
I can't picture it, but I'll look it up.
Pottery Road.
Oh, okay. That sounds familiar. So I'll definitely look it up for sure. That would be lovely.
Yeah. OSA, yeah, Ontario Society of Artists. Yeah, Marianne's just mentioning that. Yeah, I don't do their social media, but I am a member. I do the social media for Society of Canadian Artists. So that's the one that's going to be at the Todd Morden Mills. It's right at the Don Valley area.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Yeah.
I think I know which one you mean. Yeah.
I don't know how to get there because my husband always drives. I just know when I'm there.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I don't drive. I know via like downtown via TTC and stuff, but my partner always drives places too. So I'm just like, I just look out the window. I don't pay attention.
Yeah. So are you missing home? Have you been in touch with your parents, your mom, since COVID? I'm sure you haven't seen them in a while.
No, it's been really, really tough because obviously with so much of my work kind of being based on memories of home, like it's pretty clear that I really, really miss being home and I miss my family a lot. So I haven't been home since Christmas actually.
Oh.
So it's been very difficult with that because I'm so close with my family, but we talk almost every day and FaceTime and do all that stuff. So so we're keeping in touch. Yeah, we're keeping in touch, but it's been a tough time, so I can't wait to get home and see them again. Hopefully soon.
I feel that you're about to cry.
You know what? It's not too far off, honestly. But but that's the thing. It's so nice that we have like social media or texting or FaceTime and all of those things. Is that like if that wasn't a thing and we were isolated like this, it would have been so much worse for everyone in trying to stay connected. So at least this way I know that they're safe, I know that they're healthy, and I know that like my grandparents are okay and stuff like that. So it's so important. So it's been tough, but we'll be together again soon.
Well, listen, we're 1 minute out before we get cut off by Instagram. I just wanted to thank you for being my guest and to thank everybody for joining us this evening. We hope to see you again next week. My guest is Vicky Caruthers. And Megan, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Guys, follow Megan's feed on Instagram, okay?
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Bye. Have a good night. Enjoy the summer.
You too. See ya.
Bye.